Welcome to Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas. Back by popular demand is the intrepid Drake Bailey for another question and answer session with Gail of Gaia about current events on and above the planet with ET. You may want to make some popcorn and buckle your seatbelt. This will be another wild ride. As many of you will recall, our last show with Drake and Gail ended abruptly only 42 minutes into the show with this comment from Drake.
Behind the scenes, there's a lot of things going on. One of those was either put it out, quit interfering, quit it, or two things will happen. First, each and every last individual, and I mean all of them that are involved in that control mechanism, will be arrested. Mm-hmm. And the charge is obstruction of justice. Number two, if you do not adhere to this, we will send in sufficient troops of whatever nature necessary to take everybody out of the building and close it down. Now, the third part they didn't mention at all. This is classified information, which is declassified when I utter it. Certain portions of the government were going to abscond with all of the servers. All of the mainframes are going to be gone. Now think about that shit. You talk about being...
Wow. Are you still there? Oh, you just froze. They just took you down. Wow. Holy smokes. I'm going to have to call him. I'm going to pause this recording for a minute and see if I can get Drake back on. They didn't like that, that's for sure. It appears that as soon as the Drake said what he said about the servers, they took him offline. I have not been able to get back in touch with him, but we will continue this where we left off as soon as we're able to get him back up and running. So obviously what he said was truthful, or they wouldn't feel a need to take it down. Okay, hang on.
Garrett, who is one of Gail's volunteer helpers, had a plan to salvage parts of the show. Here's what he came up with.
Hello, everyone. We're back. We got Drake back on, and during the time that he was off, he was able to find what he needed, but they took him off right when he said something about the servers. So if you want to pick up where you left off or repeat what you started to say, please feel free to do so.
I was trying to talk about the kids being indoctrinated. Everybody knows about that in grade schools and things like that. This great shift occurred in the 60s. One man influenced this shift more than any other, Herbert Marcuse, considered the father of emergent new left that came to dominate today's Democratic Party. Dr. Herbert Marcuse influenced a whole generation of young communists in America. Ronald Reagan got a whiff of that. And when he was governor of California, got Marcuse fired from his position at UC Berkeley. Marx was a great influence on a lot of things. Italian communist Antonio Gramsci claimed capitalists did not rule society solely on the basis of economic power, but also through Borges values. Although Marx had said much the same thing in the Communist Manifesto. Now, remember that. Well, people are not taught how to think for themselves. A lot of people wouldn't be able to take red and yellow and come up with orange. They handed a college kid a can opener. The boy had no clue what it was or how to use, let alone how to use it.
Well, that's pretty amazing to me, because I did go to college and...
Well, yeah, but you had a normal life before that.
Sort of, yeah, I guess.
Well, you learned how to use a broom and all this other stuff. Coming in retirement, threat of U.S.
Come on there, find it.
Proper wealth. I can't find it right off the top.
But you can probably talk about it.
Well, basically, the indoctrination that our children are getting in school instead of an education is one of the major problems. And the reason it's a major problem is not because of anything any of the parents have done wrong, but that the parents, and yeah, you guys got to really pay attention to this, have the legal right to subjugate, change, and alter anything in a public school system that disagrees with fundamental principles, morality, etc., to include having some oh boy, including having some queenie giving them instruction on sexuality. None of that shit's right, and everybody knows it. Well, you can do something about it, and it doesn't involve a vote. It is a legal responsibility. And the teachers' unions, and unions are socialist, whether anybody likes it or not, have a tendency to support these sorts of things from the leader of the teachers' unions or head of the teachers' unions. We don't care about education. We just want the money and power.
They want indoctrination, not education. That's what it's sounding like.
Money and power.
Yep.
Basically, they think they can do anything they want, and until the parents say no, then you got a problem, an ongoing one, and it's not going to get better.
Isn't that amazing that they were saying that the parents couldn't watch or see what the children were learning online? What do you mean I can't see?
That's illegal.
Exactly.
And the reason I say that is that under the teaching credentials, it stipulates that anybody can audit, which means listen to, or participate watching in a classroom. Doesn't matter what level. That goes all the way through the whole education system that everybody questions. Oh, Barr might be suspect. Well, he is a little bit, but he's not stupid either. The main part of it is simply that Barr asked the president when. The president wanted to arrest Hunter Biden immediately. And Barr said, oh, let's get a good case going so we can't lose no matter what. That's why the FBI is investigating Hunter Biden and his financial dealings with the enemy. Aiding and abetting the enemy is a felonious treason charge, constitutionally.
But what about that Ray guy who was in charge of the FBI and sat on that laptop for over a year?
You think he don't have an indictment and arrest warrant waiting?
I sure hope so.
Think about here's what you have to understand. I don't know how I managed it. It probably was an accident, but I personally put things together in such a manner that people found I could be trusted. And I don't out things that are going on behind the scenes unless I've been given permission to do so. In other words, I'm not going to screw up some kind of operation that's going on where they're going to get the bad guys and choke them to death or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't want to screw that up. I want to watch the guy's eyeballs turn back in his head, on a public stage, preferably. However, in this particular case, Barr asked the president, and nobody's got this information but me directly. I can look at a situation. Okay. And I told you I'm not exactly human. This gives me certain capabilities and powers others don't have. One of those is access to what are known as timelines. And I looked. Well, guess what? Barr asked the president, do you want me to do this now? In terms of all those indictments? And Trump said, no, let's wait till after the election. Barr said, okay. Then the laptop popped up and Trump about went spastic. He told Barr, he says, arrest the son of a bitch. And Barr explained to him, he says, I would rather have a airtight case. So the boy ain't gonna wiggle room, can't get loose, can't go nowhere. Well, you got hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I ain't done. Listen up.
Okay.
All of the documents on that laptop have been validated. I'll say that again. All of the documents on the laptop have been validated.
Oh,
A majority of the conversations that have been recorded on those phones that he turned over have been validated. Now comes the fun part. These people can no longer drag their feet or interfere. If they do, they come up on charges of obstruction of justice. Oops. Now that is worse than, because see, you get 3 or 4 levels of things. Okay, obstruction of justice can be interfering with social cases and things of that nature. This goes to a whole bunch of different things. One of those being national security. The national security is not something you screw with. So what we have is a situation where if they do not comply, the federal marshals will come and pick them up, and they will go directly to jail as a danger to national security. So what I'm looking forward to is Trump getting reelected, and I really think that's going to be awesome. Now, I've stipulated he's only going to need to serve 2 years. That comes about when the organic constitution in the republic is restored.
Yay!
Think about that. That shit is real, and it's coming. Hasn't happened yet.
Now, that's the kind of news I like to hear.
Well, that's a future timeline. There's some other things going on in virology and medical research by these same people who are autonomous, independent, totally on their own, find out what's going on and fix it kind of people. That's basically where they're going. They're going into certain areas of things called, let's see here. Big pharma has a serious problem. And then there's the serious problem that we have with the money makers, like cancer.
I can have a serious problem right out the gate with a lot of, there's a lot of scientific fraud out there that the scientists are paid to come up with certain results.
Exactly.
If they don't come up with those results, they are either fired or they have to rearrange the studies to prove what they're trying to prove. So that's why I immediately am a little bit suspect of just about anything when they say that kind of thing. So
I understand that, and I don't disagree with your suspicion. I agree with being suspicious of people that say, "Oh, I got the pill from God." Take one. Let me see what it does to you. If you don't turn purple or something, we might be good. We'll see. Okay. So anyway, the ideology is simple. Everybody has heard of a wart. Some people have already had one or two. A wart is of the same pathology, the same basis as all forms of cancer. Think that through. Okay, guess what? They've already come up with a cream. They already got a cream. Put it on a wart, and the wart goes away in about a week. You only put it on once, don't worry about it. That's what these people are doing. They advances in medical science are about to explode. And I hope that they're not pulling my leg or filling my long johns.
A major explosion is definitely needed because they have been creating customers as a result of. And I know
what I do is my wife and I are lucky enough that we can afford to eat organic and get the supplements and things like that. So life, as far as my part of it, is really decent. It's like the shows. It's like the shows I put on. Any expense involved comes out of my pocket. I'm not a patriot for profit in any way, shape, or form, and I'm in a position where I don't have to have other people's money. So I'm really good. Now, that does not mean that people do not need to donate to the Gail of Gail show. Dig down deep in your grocery money.
Well, you know what? We have to maintain a website now because of all the censorship, which is another reason I hope that Trump wins. And the only people that I've had that help me, and I don't mean to undermine them in any manner, shape, or form, because I'm extremely grateful to them, Garrett Ward and Paul Beener. They have helped in post-production and they volunteer their time. They're not charging me. If they charged me, I couldn't afford to do any of this because there are
I know
expenses
Paul.
involved. And now if
I
you
know
have
Paul.
and if you have a website now, I asked just to find out how much does it cost to have somebody actually put up the website who really knows what they're doing. They wanted $2,100 for that. I said, I can't afford that.
No.
So I have Garrett is kind of working on that, but that's not his area of expertise. And it certainly isn't mine either, but we have to put the videos up on the website to avoid censorship. Hello, everyone. This is Gail of Gaia. I'm the founder and producer of Free Range. I do my best to bring you the best in guests and information that's very relevant to you today. I'm making this short little clip today in order to ask you to please contribute to the channel. I'm not monetized by YouTube. I don't sell any products and I don't have Patreon. So I depend upon your contributions. And I know everyone's having a tough time, but even a small amount from a number of people would help tremendously. So thank you. Please contribute. And again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I do need your help. Thank you.
It may be subjugated because they have found new deposits of what they're after in places that are much more easily obtainable and open and won't screw up the environment in the process of obtaining them.
And the other thing of it is it's actually abiotic. They've lied to us all these years, making it sound like it was fossil fuel, and it's not. It's actually made.
Oops. Well, the other thing is that a lot of the precious metals that people are rare earth minerals kind of thing are looking for in order for us to keep our society running. Very simply, we have them here in the States. Now, what they're doing is they're doing studies. Started the studies about 3-4 months ago, give or take, and they're studying the place out to make sure that they don't screw up things in general if they extract minerals, etc. The minerals will not be processed on location like a lot of them are. This will be sent to a special place so that everything can be controlled. That's the big difference. But we're also some of the specialized ingredients that China would not allow us to get our hands on for medicines and whatnot. That's changed. Oh, no, you didn't know about that? Oh, my goodness. They're in charge of the supply chains that run through their country. Well, guess what?
Oh, wow. That's
Supply
interesting.
chains
I
ain't
didn't
in
know
their
that.
Yeah, they're not in their country anymore. And we are the biggest business partner in those areas. So consequently, these little podunk countries, banana republics, whatever you want to call them, have decided that it would be much better not to deal with China at all, and we will deal with the states instead directly. We win again twice. So,
but everybody's got to get out there and vote for Trump. That's what they need to do.
That works.
Because it's good against evil. Is what it really boils down to. It's not about Democrat and Republican right now. It's actually about good against evil, and we want good.
Yeah.
We definitely want
Well, seeing as how we don't have time for questions, I don't have nothing else to run.
No, because we would just barely get started on the questions, and we already have an hour and 41 minutes. So we'll handle questions on another show.
All right.
We'll be looking for a day when Tanath is available as well. That's
well, I told you the days.
Okay.
So, now and that's the only when she's not working, still know until 8 o'clock. Well, we can have the whole day, whatever part of it you want to share. See what she says. She's one of the nicest people I've ever met outside of you.
Yeah, she is. She's a sweetheart. And she did tell me, I mean, when that's how we got together the last time, where she just told me she was off that day, and then I contacted you and we had a show. So that's what'll happen again.
That works.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time and your knowledge and all the good things you have shared.
Yeah.
Even though we had to argue a little bit.
Well, that's good. That's good for the soul. A little disagreement charges you up. Okay, here's the deal. If some kind of something comes up that we want to have a special show about, I have the capability of having a show any time I want to. There we go. And it
That's
can
good.
be either video or audio. Doesn't matter to me, whichever you decide would be better. We can do it that way. If you know, unless you jump in there first and, hey, let's do a show. Let's do a show. I could just, you know.
Well, just let me know. Yeah, if you get something we need to share, just let me know. If I have another show, I can always do it after that or what have you, because I have the type of work where I can work around. You know, I can do it at a
Cool.
different time or what have you, because I do have to work too. But
I'm
anyway,
too old. I'm too old, retired, and just about it.
I'm supposed to be retired, but I don't think I'll ever be able to retire.
Yeah,
It doesn't seem
never
like it anyway.
know.
Anyway, thank you, everyone, and thank you, Drakes, for your time and your information. And
Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Bye,
my
y'all.
pleasure. Bye, everyone.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a question for the old fart. When are we going hunting again? We ain't gettin' no younger, Drake. You gettin' too old to hunt?